Hello, I'm Marcos Bossolon, a writer from Brazil, and this is the first devlog of my first game, Blood Lair, a dark romance and horror visual novel about vampires that I'm using AI to help me make the images of the game. But first, a little about me that I think you should know. I'm a writer from Brazil, a gamer, and now trying to start a game dev career. My favorite games include Stardew Valley, The Sims, Life is Strange, The Walking Dead, and some old RPGs like Suikoden or Final Fantasy Tactics. This year I started pursuing a degree in game dev, and I also got fired from my job. So I decided to spend a few months working on my very first game. And I know a lot of you must be wondering why I'm using AI to do this game. I'm gonna explain for you. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to develop a game was to actually learn coding in a fun way, so I could show companies what I'm able to do if they hire me. But one problem for me is digital arts. I'm terrible at it. And since I'm unemployed and I don't have much money, pay for that was out of question. That's when I had this idea to use AI to make the image of my game. You see, a lot of companies nowadays is looking for professionals that know how to use AI.
Deciding for visual novels.
As I said before, I'm a writer and coding is not one of my best abilities. How can I make my immigration to game development a little bit easier? Well, when I was starting to learn Python, I learned about variables and switches, and I even created a small game. It was just a simple text game about the trolley problem. In this game, you get a random scenario and you have to choose one of the two outcomes. And you get a result based on your choice. If you're curious about it, I'm gonna put the link of my GitHub in the description of this video if you wanna check out and give me some tips maybe. When I was doing that game, I started to think that I could make some kind of visual novel. And since I'm a writer, visual novels would be a great start for me in dev career. I mean, visual novels are like books with images, okay? Interactive books. And the best thing is, I could make the images with AI, which would cover all the abilities I want to learn. Okay, now that I know what kind of game I want to make, I need to choose what kind of software I'm gonna use. I thought about RPG Maker at first, but RPG Maker is not the best engine for visual novels. Or I could keep doing it on Python and learn how to put images on Python. I googled about it, I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT actually gave me a good answer. Use RenPy. RenPy is a game engine made for visual novels. Okay, now that I have the game engine and the type of game I want to make, it was time for the best part, the brainstorming. So here it is, the brainstorm I made for this game. When I think about visual novels, the first thing that came to my mind was those hentai scene dates that I used to play when I was a teenager. Yeah, I mean True Love, Paradise Hikes, Nocturnal Illusions, all of these games. But you know, do a lot of different endings for different girls with different scenes would be a headache for someone who was just starting to learn. Instead of making a scene date of a lot of girls, I decided to go for just one girl. This girl needs to be something interesting, mysterious, and sexy enough so the player don't get bored. That's when Kava Munkayev was born, a vampire that lives in a secluded castle. The player is just a traveler who happens to fall into her trap. And now you have to make the right choices, choose the right answers, as you explore the castle and try to find a way to get out of there alive. It can have romance, danger, and you need to be smart enough to not fall for Kava's seduction and become one of her victims. I took inspiration from classic vampire books like Dracula, Carmilla, Interview with a Vampire, and this type of books, and soon Kava got her story. She was a vampire girl that lived alone in this castle for ages, and she liked to play with her victims before feeding from them. And even if you make she fall in love with you, she would become possessive, jealous and dangerous. And that was the moment I realized something. My game wasn't just a dating simulator with a vampire. It was a story about toxic relationships, jealous, possessiveness, lack of trust, lies, and betrayal. So I gave up on the hentai scenes, but I kept the eroticism of vampires. Kava is a vampire like Carmilla or Lestat. She seduces us, makes us fall in love with her, and she plays with us and feeds from us. But deep inside, she also has something human, a desire to be loved and a fear of being alone forever. And there it is. I have an original story and I'm using AI to help me with my flaws. Don't get me wrong. One day I hope I can hire a professional artist for this. But right now I want to start. I need to start somewhere. And here is where I'm starting my game dev career. Here at Tale Shaper Studios. A place to tell stories through game. Each game trying to learn something new, trying to show the world this is what I'm able to do. The idea of Tale Shaper is to tell stories, each game with a new feature, a new ability, a new way to shape stories, to shape ourselves. My plan is to release a demo version of the game in September and the full version in 2026. So follow me and join Tale Shaper in this journey of learning and having fun. Thank you for watching.